Hey everybody, welcome back to the DTC Concepts YouTube channel. As always, we are here to deliver all things design and real estate development. Today, I'm really excited because we're gonna go through 5 different styles of design and a little bit about what I love from each of them. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring you more content in the future. So, without further ado, let's dive into the 5 different interior design styles and what I like about each. First up, we have got minimalism. Now, what I do love about this style is the clean lines, the simplicity. It is extremely calming. There's a neutral color palette. It's all things serenity. This design style is fantastic, especially if you're somebody like me who sort of had a traumatic childhood and you're just trying to control everything in your space to bring you a sense of calm. This is a nice option you might want to go with. All right, next up, we've got mid-century modern. This is another clean line aesthetic. However, now we're also looking at organic shapes. We're looking at some warmth to it with woods. This is also defined generally by things coming out of a period of time. You've got some beautiful, iconic furniture pieces that you can choose from. They are not only gorgeous, but also extremely practical and comfortable. I really love this style. I think, you can warm it up, cozy it up, pare it down. There's a lot of range in here when you're working with mid-century modern. So very fun design aesthetics, something that I love. Personally, it's always been a dream of mine to live in a true mid-century home. It has been not a dream of my wife, so I think we're gonna compromise, and I will probably never live in a mid-century home, but if you get to, I envy you and have fun with this. By the way, if you are looking for some mid-century inspiration, follow along at Take Sunset on Instagram. Absolutely great, tons of beautiful mid-century modern. All right, number 3, we have got Bohemian. This is fun, it's eclectic. There's a lot going on. You've got greenery, plants, patterns, colors. If you're a free spirit and you don't need to control things, say you grew up in a loving household where nothing really traumatic happened to you and you always felt safe, this is a really fun style for you to explore because you've got the confidence, the free will, the love in your heart to just let this explode into creativity. So, Bohemian is a ton of fun. Think color, pattern mixture, texture, all of it. Just make sure there's a through line through all of it so it doesn't lead just into pure chaos. All right, number 4, we have got Scandinavian design. I love this. This sort of can kind of pair back to a minimalistic feel. There's a connection to nature. It's a lot about light, natural materials, the way different textures feel and work in a room. A lot of the times, this is also going to be a warm, layered space with a neutral color palette. This is one of my favorites. I think there's a lot of directions you could go with this. I've always said, a dream design aesthetic would be Scandinavian goth. Think Scandinavian design meets vampires, getting a little insight into things that I like. So this is one of my personal favorites. I think anytime you're connected to nature, it's a lot of natural material, it's a lot of texture. There's a lot of soothing comfort to that. It's a cozy feel, but it doesn't feel bare, if that makes sense. All right, number 5, the last design aesthetic we're gonna talk about today is industrial design. This is a very cool route to go. If you've got the space, maybe you live in a loft in an old building. When I was in Chicago, I lived in some really great brick and timber lofts that had a very industrial feel. I used a lot of raw materials. There was metals, there was exposed beams. There was not exposed brick because I wanted to paint it. mostly because I can't handle thinking that there's dirty brick in my home. But it still had a very industrial feel. Think, metal furniture, leathers. It's cool. It's got a masculine feel. It's got an edgy feel, a little bit of a rock and roll vibe. I loved the industrial lofts I lived in. I loved making it into this aesthetic. So it's a fun one. I think that it can be warmed up. It definitely doesn't have to feel sparse and bare. So if you get a chance to explore this one, have fun with it. All right, that is 5 different design aesthetics. I hope that was kind of interesting. I hope it gave you some ideas. If you've got any questions, please drop it in the comments below. If you have a favorite, let us know. As always, if you enjoyed our content today, please do like and subscribe, and we will continue to bring you more real estate development and design tips. By the way, if you are looking for some mid-century inspiration, follow along at Take Sunset on Instagram. Absolutely great. Tons of beautiful mid-century modern.